Another week, another One Piece chapter review. This one is for chapter 1040, which is named Falling on Deaf Ears, which has a double meaning when we get into the chapter itself. But there is a break next week, which is the regularly scheduled break, meaning that there won't be a video next week. I just wanted to get that off my chest. And without further ado, let's get into the actual chapter. And we start off with the cover page, which is showing how Niji and Yonji got captured at the end of Whole Cake Island, and they just straight up got beat by Big Mom without any real fuss. She just straight beat their ass, which is really nice to see that Emperor wasn't afraid to square up against two of Germa's augmented soldiers. And the name of the cover story this week is Germa 66 Cold-Blooded Voyage Volume 4. A creature that science cannot overcome, which is, of course, in reference to Big Mom. Big Mom is getting a lot of highlight this chapter, and it's really just building her up to do what it does to her later in the chapter. And we start the chapter immediately seeing how damned Punk hit Big Mom, and we get to see the back of Kid's creation, and of course, being Kid, there's a massive skull, and it just screams Punk, which is Kid's whole thing. And we get to see, for the first time in a little bit, a current location map, which is showing that damn Punk blasted, or could have the potential to blast Big Mom all the way into the hole in Wano, which is way deeper than we thought it was. And we get to see that after damned Punk hits Big Mom, she smirks, and it clearly did not do enough to her to throw her out of the hole. And both the Kid Pirates and the Heart Pirates comment on this, saying that they're already at their limit, and that wasn't enough to put her down. There's no way that we're going to be able to beat her. And Big Mom gets another one of her big choices, I guess. I'll let you choose your fate. When this attack is done tickling me, you can either give me 50 years from your lifespans, or can live on as my slaves. Life or slave, which is harkening back to life or something back in Whole Cake. It's been a while since I read that arc. But her whole thing was controlling through fear, through life or something else. And she just straight steals the souls from a few of... It looks more like the Kid Pirates than the Heart Pirates, but she's stealing some lifespans off of them. And she's very clearly just rezzing herself with their souls. And she's letting off Conqueror's Haki, which is really complemented by the fact that Kid's damned Punk sets off normal electricity. And it looks so cool. And we get a comment from one of the pirates saying, "She doesn't look like she's anywhere near death's door. What a monster." Which, again, is just building her up and up and up to do what this chapter does, which starts off with Law saying, "You guys go ahead." And Kid and Law having a back and forth saying, "You think the last gasps..." Jesus, I cannot English. "You think the last gasps of an old windbag scare me? Room. Our room. We never knew if it was K-room or Kroom. So that it has an issue with this. Our room or room. I'm going to say our room for this one, because there is a bit of a thing that comes back with what this does with R and what it could mean. And he says, "Our room. Your death screeches are doing my ears in." And we get a comment from one of the other, I guess, fodder pirates saying their souls aren't even coming out. She's an emperor and they're not scared at all. And we get to see that the misery that Big Mom made last chapter is going to attack Law, while Law throws the R room towards Big Mom and says, "I'll handle this just like the man who saved my life." And then we get Kid saying, "Damn Emperor, you just don't know when to quit. I'm sending you packing straight to hell." And we get to see what our room does, which is when I'm going to do the whole nerding out thing. It's a silence bubble, just like Corazon's bubble. And Law gets the dialogue. "This technique cancels out every sound you make." And it's just so cool. Because I don't know if it was on purpose or if our room was just an accident. Rosinante, our room, that was the entire thing. I just think it's really cool. That's it. That was legitimately it. And Big Mom realizes that her voice isn't traveling at all, meaning that she can't make anyone afraid of her through talking anymore. And then we get to see in a page and a half spread, maybe less than that, Damned Punk 2.0 partnered up with Law, slicing Misery down the middle. And Big Mom gets, again, blasted. But this time, she is going down through Onigashima. Prometheus and Hera are nowhere near her to help. And she passes right through the armory with Yamato. Yamato comments why Big Mom is not making any noise while literally smashing through levels of the building. Big Mom goes out to grab a bomb, and Yamato makes a freeze wall so the blast doesn't do anything and trigger the rest of them. And the fire Oni thing, again calls out to Orochi, which we get to see on this next little page spread, that Orochi is still here. He didn't run away like I kind of expected him to. And we see that big explosion did a number on Big Mom. She's coughing out smoke, her eyes are white, and we get the dialogue. Are you listening, Roger? Why'd you have to go and say all that? The whole world bought it. The Great Pirate Era, your time was up, so it didn't affect you. All those brats came flooding in, looking for their chance to shine, and you left us to deal with it. At least you could have done was tell us about the One Piece before you croaked. It was real, right? And in this 2-page spread, we get a lot of catch-up. Big Mom's falling towards the hole in Wano. We get to see that Chopper and a few of the, I would say, more throwaway characters are dealing with the fact that the entire island is falling apart. Brooke and Robin are still together, meaning that the whole theory about the Grim Reaper being Brooke might not be accurate. But then again, the next panel is Zoro laying in a puddle of his own blood, so maybe there's something to do with that. The next panel, I can't even tell what's going on, unless it's to prelude the next few. Then we get to see that Hiyori is playing the 3-stringed instrument. I forget what the name of it is. And she's calming Orochi down, I guess. He's hypnotized. So, he's not going anywhere for a little bit. And then we get to see the end to the longest fight in One Piece history. Raizo versus Fukuro Kujo. And Raizo has won. Fukuro Kujo topples and says, "Water, I need water," while being fully ignited in flame, and so is Raizo. And it is so perfect. Like, of course Raizo's gonna win, but, like, that was, we've gotten a lot of focus on his fight in the past few chapters. We've gotten glimpses of it every, like, chapter, I want to say. We've gotten a little glimpse of it, but this was just, it's the end. The fight is over. And we cut back to Big Mom, asking, what is it? Where is it? Does this country hold some of the answers? It's so frustrating. Kid, Law, I'll never forgive you for this. You better not think this is enough to kill me. And then we get to see her eyes go wide as a mushroom cloud detonates, all silenced by the R room, none of it getting heard by anyone in the Flower Capital. It might have been seen, but not heard. And then we get the official text boxes saying, Emperor Big Mom versus the New Generation. Live floor battle, victors, Eustace Captain Kidd, and the Surgeon of Death, Trafalgar Law. And it has been so long since we heard Law's epithet of the Surgeon of Death, at least in my knowledge. And it sounds so good as we see Kidd and Law both out of energy, huffing and puffing, covered in their own blood. They fought, and as a pirate on that page says, they defeated Big Mom. This is huge. This is really huge. And that's just putting it lightly. With the fact that this entire arc has to end with Kaido going down. There is no other way this arc ends other than Kaido going down, losing control of Wano, possibly being killed, at least being knocked off his pedestal. And the fact that we also have Big Mom down, where she didn't have to go down this arc. She could have reappeared in a later arc, probably something like Elbath, given that she has a connection to Elbath. But no, she's seemingly down. I don't think there's any way that her crew is going to be able to get her, given that they are at the bottom of the Wano waterfall. And so are the world government ships, so we have an issue there. So I think Big Mom is maybe not done for, but she probably will not be a big enough issue going forward for us to deal with her. And also we have CP0 on Onigashima. I'm sure they now know that Mom is down, given that they have those little seeing birds. And we also have to think about the announcer. I forget what their name was, but the person that kept announcing who went down on what side. Now we have literally all of the high-ranking beast pirates, other than Kaido and Big Mom, are down. This little alliance of the pirates, the minks, the samurai, the ninja, all of it has come together to knock down an entire emperor's forces and an entirely different emperor. And if this battle ends the way we all think it's going to, it's going to come down to 2 emperors down, along with an entire other Yonko, along with one of those Yonko's crews. And that is insane. But going back to the actual chapter, we get a little bit of it's a cliffhanger. It's an Oda-style cliffhanger. Momonosuke and Yamato meet up. Momonosuke has been using the fire clouds to keep Onigashima afloat. Yamato is dealing with the bombs, and seemingly the Fire Oni got sucked out with Big Mom when she flew through the basement. And Yamato says, one of the bombs went off, but thankfully I was able to freeze the others before the whole armory blew. So that ice wall that Yamato made was so damn important, because that could have easily cost us the entire raid. Everyone would have died. Yamato is the MVP, period, other than, Law and Kid for this chapter. Those are the top 3 characters. Law and Kid are tied for first place, and then Yamato close behind them. And then we get Momonosuke saying, I'm glad you're okay. I have a lot on my plate at the moment, so please listen. Zunesha is getting pretty close now. And Yamato identifies Zunesha as the elephant that Odin journaled about back when he was alive. And Momonosuke ends the chapter by saying, exactly. It committed a serious crime 800 years ago, back when it was Joy Boy's companion. I don't know if we already knew that Zunesha was Joy Boy's companion, or if it was just a widely speculated thing. I was always under the assumption that we kind of knew that, or it was very obvious to guess. But if that's true, and Zunesha is just so happening to come to Wano, I mentioned it on the chapter that ended with Zunesha, this could mean that Zunesha's goal for the entire time that he has been walking, or she has been walking, is to get to Wano. Maybe due to Joy Boy's last commands, maybe due to the punishment that Zunesha was dealt, maybe due to the fact that Zunesha seemingly has a connection with the Kosuke clan. We don't know. But in my opinion, if Zunesha is coming to Wano, there has to be a good reason. It is not pure coincidence. Because we also have the whole entire nation of Zou on the back of Zunesha. Zou has the Minks. The Minks are heavily aligned with the Samurai and with Odin, meaning that Zunesha is bringing reinforcements, basically. The reinforcements are not here yet, but by the time that Luffy beats Kaido, Luffy's probably not going to be able to fight anymore. Neither are most of our Straw Hats. So we're going to have a few Straw Hats, a few of the Alliance members, but then we have an entire island of minks, along with, an 800-foot tall elephant. 800 foot is putting it lightly. Zunesha is so goddamn tall. But that's just something I was realizing. Zunesha is practically bringing reinforcements for the Alliance with the Minks and the entire nation of Zhao. But that has been it for the chapter 1040 of One Piece. Again, there is a break next week, so don't be expecting a video from me. I might be able to put out another video. I don't know. I have a lot of video ideas, but none of them are quite happening yet due to lack of motivation, and the amount of time that it would take to edit those videos is a fairly high amount. So you will see one of those videos eventually. I have the audio recorded and most of the stuff needed for it done. I just need to kind of kick my butt into gear and get it done. And then another one similar to it should be coming out soon after that. Maybe I'll be able to find a way to speed up the editing process. But until next time, if you liked the video, let me know by hitting the like button. If you're new and you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button. It always lets me know that people appreciate it. Same with the like button. If you have any comments about this chapter, my breakdown of it, my review of it, my comments, anything about this chapter, anything about One Piece, anything you want to see in future videos or chapters or anything like that, drop it in the comments below. And until next time, stay safe, have fun, and read more manga. Okay, guys. Bye.